Hey there, fellow educators and learning enthusiasts. Thanks for joining me today as we explore something that's got me really excited. How AI voice technology like ElevenLabs is completely changing the game for creating educational content. I can't wait to share some amazing possibilities with you. You know, when you think about it, our voices have always been at the heart of teaching. From those cozy bedtime stories we tell our kids to those aha moments in the classroom when a concept finally clicks, it's often our voices that make the connection. What's so cool about today's AI voice tech is that suddenly, anyone who can type can create professional-sounding voice content. No recording studio needed. So why am I so pumped about this for education? Well, for starters, it's opening doors for so many students who've been left behind. Kids with dyslexia or visual impairments, students who just learn better by listening, they all get equal access to materials now. And think about your ESL students, content in multiple languages at the click of a button, without hunting down native speakers for every language you need. But here's what really blows my mind: the personalization. Remember those days of trying to differentiate instruction for 30 different learners? Now you can actually create tailored explanations for different learning levels without losing your sanity. Before this technology, that kind of individualization was just a dream for most of us. Oh, and let's talk about making subjects come alive. Imagine teaching the Civil War and having Abraham Lincoln narrate his experiences, or bringing Romeo and Juliet to life with different character voices that teenagers actually want to listen to. Science concepts explained through engaging narrated animations. Trust me, when students hear this stuff, they don't just pay attention, they remember it. I've seen some amazing real-world examples already. Elementary teachers creating custom read-alongs where the voices change with each character, making story time magical. Middle school teachers turning boring textbook chapters into podcast-style episodes that kids actually look forward to. High school English departments bringing literature to life with full-cast audio performances. College professors are jumping on board too. They're creating accessible lecture materials that students can listen to while commuting, transforming dense research papers into digestible audio summaries, and helping international students with multilingual content. One professor I know records her lab instructions in multiple voices to help students distinguish between critical safety steps and background information. The impact in special education classrooms has been nothing short of beautiful. Teachers tell me about the difference it makes having a consistent, patient voice for repetitive learning tasks, or being able to adjust the speed for students who process information differently. For kids with sensory sensitivities, having voices that are specially tuned to their comfort level has been transformative. Even for us grown-ups who are forever learning, this tech is a game changer. I've personally used it to turn my boring reading materials into audio companions for my commute. Language learners can practice with dialogues that have authentic pronunciation. Professional development suddenly fits into those little pockets of time during your day when you couldn't read but can definitely listen. Now let's keep it real for a second. As with any powerful tool, we've got to use it thoughtfully. I always make sure my students know when they're hearing AI-generated voices versus actual recordings, especially for historical content. Remember, the goal here isn't to replace those magical human connections in teaching. It's to free us up to have more of those moments by handling the repetitive stuff. And yes, you still need to double-check everything. I learned this the hard way when my AI voice butchered some scientific terms. Always listen through your content and check those tricky pronunciations. And of course, just like with any teaching resources, respect copyright when adapting existing materials. Feeling ready to dip your toes in? Here's my advice for getting started. Look for a platform with voices that actually sound human. There's a huge difference between the good ones and the robotic-sounding ones, with options for different languages if you need them. Many platforms offer special educator pricing. Definitely ask about that. Start with something simple that would really benefit from voice. Maybe those reading passages your students struggle with or content you find yourself repeating constantly. Think about materials that would shine in multiple voices or languages. My number one tip: start small and get feedback. Try a mini project, see what your students think, tweak your approach, and build from there. Kids are brutally honest critics and will quickly tell you what's working and what sounds weird. When I look at all the ways technology impacts education, AI voice stands out because it's so accessible. You don't need coding skills or expensive equipment. just your existing teaching materials and a bit of creativity. It's one of those rare innovations that can make learning more engaging and more inclusive at the same time. The future of education isn't about replacing teachers with tech. It's about using tools like this to amplify what makes great teaching so special: connection, personalization, and engagement. AI voice technology gives us a practical way to move toward that future without overwhelming ourselves or our budgets. I'd love to hear how you end up using these tools in your own teaching. The most successful approaches I've seen blend the tech seamlessly with that human touch that makes learning stick. So go ahead, give your teaching voice some AI superpowers, and watch your students light up with engagement. Trust me, once you try it, you'll wonder how you ever managed without it.